Hey guys, working on Unit 2, Lesson 6, Coding Activity 2. The one where we're going to try to accept a radius input from a user, calculate the area, double that radius, and then calculate the area of the changed circle that we already created. Before we actually do the activity though, I neglected to talk about these two things. What is meant by the term overloaded, and what is a method's signature? So overloaded occurs when you see this. So this comes from the class. I just got this from the API from the class strict math. So in this class, we can see all these different methods. And now these first four methods, they all have the same exact method name. And depending on what we put inside of this method, it changes what the method's going to do. So if I specify double inside of this absolute value method, it's going to return the absolute value of a double. If I say float, where it's like essentially rounding, it's going to return the float value. If I wanted to return an int, of course I specify int in here. So again, this method, it's the same name, but there's essentially four different ways to do this method. Hey, so when a method has different functions within the same name, so we have the same method name 4 different times, hey, this is called overloaded. That method, the ABS method within this strict math class, is called overloaded. So in order to be able to distinguish between these methods, there's this other thing called a method's signature. So hey, the method's signature includes quite a bit of stuff. So first off, it would be the method's name, the name of the method name. The type usually not included, whether it's void or it's going to return some type of primitive data type, especially with this math class. Anyhow, but again, this method name is not quite specific enough. So to distinguish between these different methods, the method signature includes not only the method's name, but it also includes these things called parameters. So I would just think of parameters as, well, what am I putting into this method? What's inside of parentheses could be known as the parameters. So we need to have the method's name. We need to have the parameter type, whether it's, like in this instance, we've got double, float, and long. The number of parameters, I should say NUM, the number of, I'm just going to abbreviate this as well, pars, the number of parameters, and the order that you type them in, the order of the parameters, which you can see like down here for this angle. You put double for this variable and then the double of that variable. And that's how it's converting these coordinates to polar coordinates. You would do the y value first. That's the first parameter, identify the type, and we've also got the double. So there's 2 parameters in there. It gives you the order, and it also gives you the type. We've got double for each parameter here. All right, so that was it that I want to talk about that I neglected. Again, overloaded is when you have the same method name, but a bunch of different functions within that method, or different ways to do that method, called overloaded. So to distinguish between methods, we have a method's signature, the name, parameter type, the number of parameters, and the order that you should type them in. Fantastic. So let's go back to that coding exercise then. Get rid of all this. So back here, hopefully we have a decent understanding then of what is meant by overloaded and a method signature. So for the actual coding activity itself, we need to accept inputs. So let's set up a scanner class called scan. Scanner system.in, doing an input, not an output. All right, so what we need to do first is tell the user to enter a radius. So let's just set up a print statement for that. system.out.println, enter a radius. So we are going to store this radius into a data type. So the radius is a double data type. So let's say double R will be assigned to scan.next double. So what gets typed in, the double amount, will get stored in this variable R. So now we can calculate the area of this circle. So first we need to create the circle though. We know about radius, but the radius hasn't actually been assigned to a circle. So let's create a circle. The class type then, the class that we're using is circle. We'll call this C for circle. Circle of radius R. So we are creating a new circle, C, and it's going to be assigned to this radius R. So just to verify, we can make a quick print statement, system.out.println. See what happens if we print C. Enter a radius. We'll do a radius of 2.0. Circle with radius 2.0. Awesome. Okay. Looks like that's all well and good. We'll just move this down a little because we do need to print some more stuff. We need to actually print the area of this circle. So let's do that. System.out.print line area, got a colon and then a space, plus. All right, so this method area, to get the area, remember you can look at the API for this class. So here's the API for the class circle. To get the area, we are going to use this method, get area. So remember, we have to reference the object first, do the dot operator, and then we can use get area. And it returns, of course, the area of the circle. This is non-void, it's returning something. So area plus, again, our object is C, get area. Fantastic. We can just keep running just to avoid errors later on. Enter radius 2.0. So we've got that first part hashed out now. The area is 12.56, whatever. Okay, so let's keep on, keeping on. So now we need to double the radius and then recalculate this circle's area. So hey, to do this, let's print that statement real quick. System.out.println. Type it in exactly as it says here, so it passes the grader for you. Radius is being doubled. And there's 3 dots. All right, so in the hint here, when I first did this, I got it wrong because I created a new object where I doubled the radius and then assigned that new radius to a new circle called C2. This coding exercise does not want you to do that. We need to change the radius of the object that is already there. So we are going to use set radius to do that, and also get radius. So we are going to set the radius of circle C. So C dot set radius. Now, what we need to do as well is get the radius that's already in this object. So C dot get radius. We're going to get the radius from circle C. And also, we will multiply that radius that is pulled from circle C. We're going to multiply that by 2. So radius is being doubled. Here it is getting doubled. Now we can print the new circle's area, or at least the area of the changed circle. So system.out.println area. I'm just going to follow this again. I'm going to get the area from circle C. I do not need that. Okay, so let's run the code and see if it works. Enter a radius, 2.0. Radius is being doubled. That's what's happening here. So what made this one a little bit tricky is we had to use these 2 different methods kind of combined, right? I had to get the radius from this circle and then multiply the radius that I got from that circle by 2, and then set that radius into circle C. So that should do it whenever you go to your grading and you check. Everything should be good. Remember what overloaded and a method signature means. And hey guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in class. Bye-bye.